Hey guys, I'm Josh Schwartz. I'm doing an interview with Andrew Evans here. He's a branch manager at Vector Marketing, sales company. I guess the first question I'm going to ask you is, what ignited you to start your own business?
Good question. I've always wanted to own my own business. I've kind of been doing stuff and been doing my own things ever since I was younger. Even like in fifth grade, I started my own like landscaping business, and after that in middle school, I was working at restaurants doing magic and kind of freelancing. So I've kind of always had that entrepreneurial drive. And so when I started with the company as a sales representative, back when I was a junior in high school, they had a management training program, and I knew that existed. So I worked really hard that first summer to perform, because I knew that doing something like running my own office was something that would set me apart from whatever I wanted to do, and I wanted to have that type of experience. So I knew like right from the get-go and right from when I was being interviewed for the position that would be an awesome opportunity. So I kind of lined things up and worked really, really hard over like the next 2 years to kind of create that opportunity for myself and be able to run my own office.
Cool. So when you have your organization, how do you bring in like the right people that you want?
So basically, there's a couple different ways. A major part of our company is recruiting, because we are a sales company. So it's a quality thing, but it's also a quantity, because the more people that we have working out of our office, just the overall more sales that we obviously produce. But so as far as it goes, we have a recruiting process. At the beginning of the summer, I spent like $10,000 to $12,000 just on these. We use this mailer company, which basically sends out letters to the top high school students and top college collegiate students, and top high school graduates and top collegiate students in the area, based on their school or their grades and things like that, and their personalized letters that invite them to apply with us. So that's one way. Another way, I mean, we advertise on like online sources and things like that, and we also do. I think one of the biggest ways is like personal recommendations and stuff like that. Just because, if I have a person on the team that's working out of our office that's a really, really sharp kid, they're always really good, they say you are like, circle of influence, you are who you surround yourself with. So usually good people surround themselves with other good people. So if they recommend a friend, they're oftentimes good workers. But we have an extensive interview process. It's like a 90, almost like a 2-hour interview before I select someone, and then we also have a 3-day training. So if I ever give someone a shot and I'm not really sure if they'd be right for the job, worst case scenario, the 3-day training kind of weeds them out, or lets me see that they step up to the plate before we kind of finally start working with them. So,
what kind of like incentives do you offer for your employees?
Most of it, it's sales, so it's mostly commission based. There's like a base pay rate, so no matter what, it kind of takes the stress off them that they aren't always like having to make a sale. But the majority of people obviously focus on sales. It is a sales company, it's a sales job, and you make way more money just off the sales aspect of it. So that's the biggest incentive, and it's a cool thing too, because you can with our company, you can work a little, make a little, or you can work a lot, make a lot, or work a ton, make a ton. And it's all dependent on kind of like what you want to get out of it. So for some people, it's just a really part-time little job that gives them good income, and other people, it's like a way to like completely separate themselves financially kind of from their peers. I'd say that's the biggest incentive, but there's other things too, like just the experience that you get, especially, experience is good if you're older too, and if you're like a professional working with the company, but if you're like a student, I think the experience really sets you apart from other things, as well as just like the flexibility of the job and not having like a standard, like here's when you work, here's how much you're going to make. Things like that. It's like and the culture of the office too is definitely a perk.
So what kind of sacrifices do you make to like make your a successful business?
Pretty much everything. So last year was my first summer running a branch office with the company. I probably worked like 100 hours a week, and that's not like exaggerating. So that's pretty much, all I did was basically work and sleep. Because I was the only one, I was running the entire show, so I had to do everything from like the little monotonous stuff, the admin and clerical work, all the way up to like the more like management stuff. So this summer I'll have assistant managers, and hopefully I can, have that, quote unquote work-life balance, or whatever the case may be, and set times for things that are important, like, my like relationships with other people, or like gym times and stuff like that. But it's definitely a sacrifice running your own business, but like I said, there's a lot of perks, and there's pros and cons to it. But I would always rather run my own show and make my own calls rather than work for someone else, even if that does mean working longer.
Yeah. So where are you gonna work this summer?
So this summer, last year I ran the Boca Raton office for Vector Marketing Corporation. This year I'm going down to Miami, which is arguably like one of the best territories in the company.
Right.
So that's definitely pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's cool. How do you go about marketing your business?
So like I said, so our product is Cutco Cutlery. So our company is there's a sales and marketing force behind the product. The product is a direct sales product. So like Vector Marketing only does face-to-face appointments. So our sales reps are working face-to-face. They're doing direct sales, making appointments with people, some of the same way like a lawyer or a real estate agent would work, and doing those appointments. With that said though, like so our business specifically though, so that's how like our sales reps work with selling the product. But I guess our marketing technically would be more so for like recruiting and training purposes. So from the management side, the advertising that we do, since it's not directly for the products, because we are literally the advertising firm, so the advertising we do is for the jobs. And like I said, it's got those advertising sources, the mailing sources, all the other things that we do, and the kind of companies we use. But I spend like 30 grand for the summer just on like advertising for the position, so we get more people in, we can be more selective, and we get the right people on the team.
Alright, I guess I'll ask one more question. Do you have any advice for like future entrepreneurs, like college students right now?
Yeah, I think my advice would just be like if anyone's like interested in starting a business, or if you're like considering doing anything of your own, or you want to do it one day, the best thing is to just start and just like not think about it and just do it, and not be like scared about going out and doing it. Because the thing is, the difference that separates like successful entrepreneurs from like just people that have great ideas is just, like everyone has great ideas. Everyone has like that $1 million idea, whatever. Like ideas are limitless, but the people that actually take action and go out there and like go and run with that idea is very, very limited. And there's not many people that actually go out there and do that. And like there's never gonna be a perfect time. Like you're always gonna be busy. There's always gonna be other things in your life. Like there's never a good time to start your own business. And nothing's ever gonna be perfect. So it's better to just go out there and fail and just learn from your experiences versus just like waiting your whole life to try to like make sure everything's lined up before you can start it. So recommendation is just go do it.
Alright, thank you.
Sweet.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.